Welcome back. I missed you. I hope you're not too mad that I was away for longer than I meant to be, but I'm back now and you're in luck if you are angry because today's video is all about how to control your anger. I've got 5 tips that I'm going to share with you and they're specifically for teenagers, but even if you're not a teenager or you happen to know a teenager in your life, you can still benefit from these strategies. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Mallory Grimste. I am a real life mental health therapist. I specialize in working with teenagers, which is why most of my videos are geared towards teen issues and strategies that teenagers can use. So if that is something that you're interested in and you want more, let me know. Let me know what topics you want. Let me know in the comments. I'm working on my new game plan for 2022 and I want to make sure I'm making videos that you want and need. So we already know that anger is a really useful emotion, especially if you watched my video about my client exploded in therapy. I actually really love it when my kids explode in therapy. Not necessarily the tension of it, but like what it represents and what it is setting up for that next phase of therapy. But in order to do that, you have to do this first strategy, and that is to observe your anger. So some simple ways to observe it are to, 1, notice and name that emotional experience. If you don't even realize that you're getting angry or you can't even like recognize that that is what's happening, this video probably isn't for you yet. But more often than not, most of us can physically locate and notice any physical responses that we're having to anger, because it doesn't always feel great. It's usually a really strong emotional physical experience. So if you can pause and observe what your body signals are, that will give you some really nice key clues, which also leads into the next part of observing, which is you want to observe the patterns that are coming up for you. So do you always feel angry when you hear a certain phrase, when you think a certain thought, when you react or respond in a certain way? I know for myself, I often feel angry when I feel like my words are being dismissed or somebody is not valuing the information that I'm giving to them. In my opinion, if I am taking the effort to speak words, it's because I think it's important to share. And so when somebody disregards that, it gets me really angry. I've learned to manage that a lot more, which leads me straight into number 2, which is using your coping skills. So once you have observed and located your anger, you're gonna wanna use those coping strategies to manage the anger in the moment. Because if you are seeing red, if you are like super hot-headed, if you are just fully in the emotional experience of anger, you're not really going to be able to do much with that. So a lot of times when we're having a very strong emotional experience, we experience what's called flooding, which means that this prefrontal lobe of your brain is literally just getting tons of signals and messages of that emotional experience. And that part of your brain is used for good judgment, decision making, logic. So all of that is getting all sort of mishmashed if you are fully in an emotional experience. So using your coping skills or strategies can help you to literally cool down when you're feeling angry and back in control so that you can make use of some of these other strategies that I'm about to get into. Y'all know I love my coping skills and coping strategies. They are really meant to help you hang in there through the emotional experience until it's under control. But some really great coping skills to use when you are feeling anger is engage in some sort of movement. So some stretching, some dancing even, some exercise. That's really great because it's going to get all those physical responses connected with your brain again. Also, slowing down your breathing, making sure that you're breathing in through your nose and then even slower out of your mouth. You can make the noise if you want, you don't have to. I like to do it, helps me focus, but you do you. If you're able to breathe and slow down your breathing, that can be really useful when it comes to controlling your anger. The other strategies that I would really recommend are really any sort of self-soothing strategies. So remember with the first thing I said, you need to observe your anger and locate those physical responses and patterns. That's because those are going to give you signals about what sort of coping skills to use to reverse that emotional experience. So for myself, I happen to be somebody who gets like a lump feeling in my throat when I feel really angry. And so for me, that's telling me to pause, drink some water, and then I should be able to manage and communicate a little bit easier. If you are wanting some more coping skills and strategies, I really recommend that you sign up for the Coping Skills Crash Course. I'm actually in the middle right now of fully updating it. So if you get in now, you're going to be getting at that very low rate. It will be increasing in price as I add to it and amplify the program. Right now, it's still the 2-hour replay that I did last year, but it's going to be fully upgraded like probably in the next few weeks. Number 3. You want to figure out what is the meaning of this anger. We already know that anger is a secondary or protective emotional experience. There's often something underneath our anger that is more intense or more strong, meaning that it might be more uncomfortable than anger feels. So anger can be protecting you from hurt, it can be protecting you from shame, it can be protecting you from embarrassment, anxiety, depression. It's one of the reasons why in teenagers, irritability and anger is considered a sign of a major depressive disorder or symptom. It's not the only one. Keep that in mind. It's only one, but that's why. So if you can pause after you have observed, used your coping skills, and now try and figure out like, what is the purpose or meaning of this anger? What is it trying to call my attention to? Oftentimes it's letting you know that something that's happening feels really important and meaningful to you based on your current experience of the situation. So if you can figure out what that meaning is, it will really help you with strategy number 4, which is expressing and communicating what your anger is actually trying to help you communicate and express. Once you've cooled down, you've observed, you've used your coping skills, you now know why or what the meaning is or the purpose is of your anger, you can express it in a much more meaningful and effective way that is going to help you keep and maintain healthy relationships with others. This is hugely important when you're a teenager because y'all are still really dependent and relying on the adults in your life. I mean, even when you are an adult, there is some interdependency on others, but not to the same extent as when you are a teenager. So being able to appropriately, accurately, and effectively express your emotional experience of the situation and why that felt so strongly for you. It's going to help build those relationships. It's going to help other people understand you, and it's going to help other people recognize and validate your experience too. And we all just want to know that we're not crazy, right? And of course, you've got to know how to ask for help. So after you've done all of this, oftentimes if we're feeling like that thing that is causing us to feel so angry is so important and meaningful to us, we're probably feeling overwhelmed by that experience too. And so asking others for help or support or guidance in how to navigate that moving forward or what could be done differently to avoid the situation from happening again is key here. It's why in next week's video I'm going to be sharing how to ask for help as a teenager, so you definitely don't want to miss it. It's going to be right there when it's ready. Thanks for watching.